Hey guys, this is Justin Ragu coming at you live from Ogden, Utah. Okay, so you just asked the question, how do I become an effective teacher on the first days of school? Okay, and what we're going to do actually is we are going to go through the first days of school by Harry Wong and Rosemary Wong. It is a wonderful book. I'm actually a fifth grade school teacher, and I have used this book as my Bible for the last 5 years, and every year I've learned something new. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through this book, and not for this first series, but in the videos that come after this, I'm going to have a little assignments, little things for you to do to really prep yourself for how you start the first few weeks of school. Okay, and this is just coming from experience, and my teaching partner will step in every once in a while and share some of his thoughts as well, so that you can kind of see the different sides to everything. Okay, um, so let's talk about this for a second. So become an effective teacher. Just a quick overview. Um, the first days in becoming the first days are very critical when you are establishing yourself as an effective teacher. Now, obviously, as we go through our curriculum, master's programs, bachelor's programs, teaching licenses, those different things, we aren't really taught how to set up our classroom such that it becomes successful over the course of the year. And if we do research and we look at some research that's out there that's evidence-based, we can actually see that the first about 3 weeks or so that really determine the success rate of the remainder of the school year. And so what we really want to do is we want to establish ourselves as an authority in the purpose, okay, of our school. And the purpose of school is learning, okay? And learning is not just content. Learning is also procedural and behavioral based. And what I mean by that is not creating automaton little robots that come in and do things and come in and they sit down and then they are ready to go and then they finish and then they do the next thing. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. When you set up and become an effective and efficient teacher, what you have done is you have taught your students how to start their day such that their day becomes a successful day because they're on task. They're always moving to the next thing. They're thinking 2 steps ahead so that when they finish one assignment, they're like, okay, I finished this assignment. I now need to work on this. And that is the purpose of school. See, what we're doing is we're teaching them how to learn how to be successful. And content is very important, I agree. But you know what? So is learning a behavioral trait that will allow them to become more successful in their content areas. So it's about balancing that really well, okay? Now, just be an effective teacher. And what I mean by that is this. I have a little saying in my classroom. It's called be, do, and have, okay? Be an effective teacher. Do what an effective teacher would do so that you can have the results that an effective teacher would have. And a lot of people, a lot of my students look at me and be like, well, how do I do that? You just do it. You be what you think an effective teacher is going to be, okay? And so that's what we're going to teach you how to do on this video series. Is we're going to have you work with different elements, different assignments, different modalities of thinking so that you become an effective teacher so that you can teach your students how to be effective students, okay? Because we are role models for our students. What we do, they do. And if we come in and we're thinking that we're going to do a fun activity our first day of school, well, guess what? You've established already for your students that, well, this is just going to be a fun class, okay? And what we really need to do is we need to establish consistency so that our students know, no, when you come in here, we're ready to learn. And we're ready to get things done. Now, we're going to have fun in the process, but our primary concern is making sure that learning is happening, okay? All right, know what you are doing, okay? You want to know what you want to do in your classroom on a daily basis, okay? And that creates the consistency, and that's going to help you become efficient. And again, we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff as we move along here, okay? You want to establish control on that first day. Now, establishing control does not mean being intimidating. It does not mean making threats. It does not mean, basically being a jerk, right? It's really about knowing what you are doing, knowing your classroom procedures, Okay? So let me give you an example. When my students come into to class in the morning, okay, they don't come into class initially. They line up in my hall, okay? They line up in my hall and they face east, and they wait patiently, and they do that in number order, okay, alphabetical order, okay. When I show up, I wait for a moment until they're quiet and they are all facing me and they all make eye contact with me. And then I open my door and we go over the routine. What is the first thing you're going to do when you come into my classroom? Now, mind you, we are in fourth quarter and I still go through the procedures and the rules daily so that they know that when we come into my classroom, it's about learning, it's about being effective, and it's about getting things done. And during the course of the day, we'll have tons of fun as well. Okay? And so I go through them with that, and they recite back to me. We go into the classroom, we go to our desk, we put our backpack down, we go fetch our chair, we bring that back to the desk, we tuck our chair in, we put our backpack on the desk, we unzip our backpack, we get our binders out, and any academic materials that we're going to need, we zip up our backpack, we take our backpack back to our hook, we take our jacket off, and we hang up our jacket and our backpack. When we come back to our seat, we pull our seat out, we sit down in our seat, and we wait patiently. We read a book, or we can socialize for a little bit while we wait for the beginning bell to start. Okay? And that's the recitation that they do every single morning, and that's the classroom procedure for them coming into my classroom. And I can tell you, I didn't do that my first 4 years, and it was just a struggle throughout the course of the rest of the year trying to get them to come into the classroom effectively, quietly, and efficiently so that I was ready to start the day at 7:55. Now, I've been doing this for the last year. My students are ready at 7:50. They are ready 5 minutes ahead of schedule, and they are ready to go, and my day runs really smooth, and guess what? So does theirs. So I've taught them how to be successful people by following a routine so that they are most effective with their time, okay? Know your professional responsibilities, okay? You want to make sure that as a teacher, you know what your job is. And again, we talked kind of about that. The job of a teacher really is about passing on learning, okay? Teaching students how to learn. And we'll get more into that as time goes on. Okay, as a final note, your success during the school year will be determined by what you do on the first days of school. So you want a successful year? Set up some control, set up some consistency, set up some efficiencies and effectiveness, and you will see that your school year becomes amazing as you go along. Now, if you would like to get in contact with us, my email, justin.regu10@gmail.com, down below. If you would like to order this book, click the link below. That'll take you over to a cashback site that we use, actually, in order to get cash back on our purchases. And they have scholastic.com in there and some different things for school teachers. And my teaching partner and I use it a lot because, as a school teacher, you're not making 100,000 a year, right? So when you need to purchase something and you can get anywhere between 6 and 10% cash back on your purchases, it's wonderful. And even if you're a college student, it's a great place to go to rent your book. So thank you for listening. Keep in touch with the video series, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.